the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop, stepping up, don't back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong.
Everybody, and welcome back to our beautiful channel. My name is The Wolf, and thank you ever so much for coming to join us today. If you're not already done so, please do subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can then be notified when we upload a brand new video. So we have been doing one or two little tiny changes here on the SimAirport. So I think this is actually episode number 3. I think it is. Literally out of the small season, what we are doing. So I hope that you enjoyed the beautiful little time lapse. So we have been working on, of course, getting the loan paid off, which we had a $1 million loan. So we had to get that sorted so we can make more money, which is great. So we've actually put some new flooring down, and we've actually started to plan out all our little tiny little diddy-widdy area, and that for our beautiful expansion. So we will be getting this expansion done hopefully today. If not, we will be just like explaining what we are going to be doing literally for the episodes right you to come along. So if you're wondering why we placed this little area down at the bottom here, this is actually for the exit out of the airport and to come into a larger baggage claim section here, and also then actually expanding down here for our security as well. So all this here will be getting blocked off. All this baggage claim here will be going. So there is a few little bit of changes for down on this section onto the left here to be done. Now we will be working on getting food courts and a section built up actually today for this. So let's just very quickly, let's just see how much this is going to cost us for the first initial ascension, which is like 159,000. Now you might have actually noticed in our little time lapse that we did go into the red, but we've got ourselves back out quite easily. That's literally the entire point of this, to try and get this sorted out as much as possible, to really give you guys the best insight of what we're actually going to be doing for the airport entirely. So let's first of all, before we get on, let's sort out this foundation section here so we can get this built up ready to go for food court. So then everybody can come through the cafe if they're wanting to go into the food court, get some food and that from like little kiosks and etc. Because what we are going to be doing is, if I just bring off the kitchen overview, we've actually got kiosks within the game, so we can do like sushi, pizza, donuts, crisps, the good old avocado on toast, which is quite disgusting, I must admit, because I've tried it and it's not really massively nice, I can tell you. I do eat avocados, I just don't like it on toast, personally. But hey, well, so we are going to get this here done so we can get some kiosks in literally as quickly as possible to really make sure that we are doing everything what we can to provide the best food offering to our guests through the airport. So just to also show you as well that we have got a full airport actually getting ran here as much as possible. Now I would love to do this midnight onwards, but we do need to get like certain things in place for this, so we are going to try our best to get that sorted out as much as possible during the gameplay actually for this season. So now that's actually all built up, we can now very quickly just come into planning. We can take off this little plan section here because we don't really need that at this moment of time. Pop into the construction, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do dismantle the wall, so we've got this opened up, and then we are going to go into objects. Let's now just find our kiosks, which we've got here. So we've got a coffee kiosk, which we can get built in just to make sure that we're offering all of our coffee. We've got a dessert kiosk right next door to the coffee one. You can't have a coffee without a donut or a biscuit. Or if you're in the UK, from Grace, a yum yum, which is like a twisty donut thing. So that's what we're going to be doing there. Then we're going to place an elf one right next door to the sweet one, which is going to be quite funny, and to say the least. We're then going to chuck in a newsstand as well. So we're going to give this a little rotatey straight up like this, and we do need to assign this to a kitchen. So onto there. Assign to do I need all of... Oh wow, okay, so I can only deal with one thing there, which is quite annoying. Oh, there we go, sorted. So we got that now sorted out, so we can close this now. So we should be able to get all this done here quite nicely. Our news stand is doing really well, so let's just very quickly, let's just pop back in again and let's get some more newsstands, because this is going to be quite important to make sure that we've got all our news sorted out for our passengers, because that's just one of those things. So I am going to just swap these up to the maximum amount straight away, so we can actually start maximizing on our profits actually for the airport, because airports are generally quite expensive. So this is what we're going to do. So hopefully all of our news agents here can get this sorted out. We've got these here looking really good, which is great. So yeah, we just work on that there. Let's just see. So we've got our dessert, we've got a coffee, we've got an elf. We need a pizza joint, because we need a pizza joint. Of course, we need in a snack kiosk, and let's go one little bit further and let's have a sushi. We need a bit of sushi in life, eh? We definitely need that sushi in life. So that's what we got there. And so all these here are going to get sorted out quite quickly, and then what we can then do is that we are going to apply all this kitchen to over here, so we should be able to now get everything what we need in from the kitchen into these kiosks down here. So hopefully that will give us enough pennies to really start making a decent amount for the airport to get that really expanded as much as possible. So this section here, which we just zoomed into, this here is going to be some extra seating for everybody to come round, have a sit down, with like a little like entrance into this here for the cafe and etc. So we're just really wanting to try and make this look as nice as possible. Then hopefully then start expanding down here with some more stands and runway as well, so we can then start maximizing on our intake of the aeroplanes coming in. So we might actually just whip this round from this bottom section to bring it down to here, and maybe just do like an extra one down here just to make sure that we've got everything all kind of like leveled out. And that's what we're hoping to do actually with this airport potentially. So we are just going to right now just see how much this extra foundation is. So we're actually needing 270,000, which we don't have at this moment of time, and I don't want to go and get a loan because the loans are going to take forever to get paid back, and to make sure that we're actually making money for the airport. And as soon as we got all these little sections done, we will be then able to lower down the cost for each airline, especially with the takeoff, landing, and also the stand costs as well. And so we can start maximizing by having more airplanes coming in. But we may actually need like an extra runway to come in for this, and that's what we are going to start looking at. Now, as we do this, we also need to make sure that we have got all of our research started. So what we are actually going to do is we're going to go into so we do need a office for the CFO and etc. So we do also need to build an office, and this is where the office is actually probably going to go, back here and behind the ticketing. So what we are going to do is that if we place a office section here, so a new foundation area with the staff door, and we will then be able to use this here as being our office space for builders, so for like the foreman, for the CFO, for the for the CEO, just literally for everybody to come and actually work in. And that's what we're going to do there. Now, when we do get to the point where we can actually sell the airport on, so if I pop into here for the value, at this moment of time, the airport is actually worth of 1.8 million. So we do need to make sure that we've got as much done as possible, ready for the airport to actually be sold on, to go on to the next stage and to actually build it from scratch. And that is what we're actually aiming to do. So this is literally almost ready to go for the office. So I'm hoping we can now get that done. So let's just very quickly, let's get a door. Right, let's get a staff door. Let's get this place straight in. And then what we can do now is let's go and sort out a reception desk here. Now, we don't really need to worry too much about this. This is just one of those things that we do need to have in place. Unfortunately, so we are just going to build up as much of the office area as possible. So actually, let's just dismantle this up. Let's whip in a normal sliding door, just like that, so then people can still like come down here and go in a section. Now we could build it around this area here, potentially. That's what we're going to try and do. So let's just pop into a visitor's reception. Okay, just like this. And then we can do, let's just pop in like, oh yeah, so we can actually do like a little visitor section coming round for back end if we're wanting to, but we're not going to bother with that. Let's then now just figure out how we're going to set up these office space for this. So we can actually, if we're wanting to, we can place quite a weird layout for these here, because we're just wanting these to look as nice as possible. So we do need to put in some walls, and we also need to make sure that we've got this looking really, really nice. Now, what we can do is, if we do this like this here, so let me just get rid of this straight away. So let me just dismantle this section up here, come into here, build up a new wall, and then we can then just like have a basic area for people to like walk into behind. No, I want in my walls, so come on, thank you. So we are just going to whip this across like this, and then we're going to just make sure that we've got this here looking as decent as possible. Let's then go into a door, and let's now place some doors in just like this. Pop into our construction, and let's get some walls built in just like this. Okay, and we'll now be able to go and get our CFO. So we're actually going to be popping into here. Let's just take this off straight away. Right, and we're now needing to get a CFO, a COO, and a CTO, and let's get a foreman. Okay, so those are kind of like done there. So let's pop back in here, and let's get this now designated as being officers, because this is really massively important just to have these as all being office wise. And we can now do all our little extra bit of research, what we're now needing to do. So we're just going to get straight away 8 lots of research started, because that is really quite important for us to get that done. So we now got that there leveled out. Now that has cost a little bit, I will say that has cost quite a lot, but that is really massively major for us to do this. So we are going to get this started. All of our retail stuff is now coming in, which is costing quite a bit. So we do need to make sure that it's all kind of like leveled. So initially the airport is making money, and we don't have to worry about getting loans at this moment of time. Our chefs are doing really, really well. So let's just put straight into here, and we will tap into this very shortly, to be honest with you, the overlays for the staffing. But we have got, so let's just move this up to 4 there. And let's up the janitors up to 8, and just make sure that we have got enough janitors getting sorted, so they can come round and clean. We should have enough kitchen space for the kitchen staff to do their job. Enough equipment in there for that, so hopefully they should come in, get sorted, and then move on to like the next section. So all this here is actually looking really quite good. So before we do anything more, let's just pop into our planning very quickly. And what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to bring down this wall right here, coming down. This here is going to have our new security section in here, so they can come down and get all checked in. But we might have to bring this down just a tad bit more, maybe down to there. And then all this here is then going to be like all the baggage section. That's potentially the idea of this. Or we can do it like this, to bring it down into our little section here. So we've got like a little desk area there. They come round here, go through and go into the security, and we can then place a wall there to block that off. And that's what we initially can be doing. And then through here, we're then going to have our exit sections here. With this, let's just double check. So this is the 4. This here is then going to have a 5 section coming up to there. Let's just clear out these sections here. Let's get our wall plan back in place. So this here is going to be our little section here for the overall theme. And then this here is going to be like another terminal. This here is going to be a new terminal area. And then of course, what we then wanting to do now is that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we're actually going to now plan in all of our little airport section here, and for our area. And then what we can now do is that if we move this up here just like this, and this here will then now give us another runway coming in into some new stands. And that's what we're going to try and work with as much as possible for this. Now we could actually chuck in our stands if we're wanting to. What are they called here? Gates even. So let's just have a look at the gates. So we are going to go with a small gate. Okay, and we're going to have 1 there and 1 there, right, which is going to be fine. And we can now start running through our taxiway for this. So let's very quickly now, before we actually forget what we're actually doing, we're going to just build a taxiway straight in, so we can actually start looking at getting these here all looking really nice and sorted. This section here is going to be open when we've done the construction for the foundation, which we can actually do right now. So that's what we are going to do there. But we also then need like another 118,000 to do that section, and then like a further portion up to around about 1 million we actually needing to do this entire build here. And possibly up to about 1.5, including this section here. So these here are not going to be in the area which we're actually going to be wanting to get done straight away. But this is sorted and it's looking really, really good now that we've got these actually little sections here. Just to start expanding out the airport a little bit more. Now we can actually place, if we wanted to, another little terminal section up here, to then place about another 2, maybe 3 gates on this side here over to the right, so we can build this up a little bit more and have this all open plan. That's what we could do, and that's what we probably may do for the future. So between now and the next episode, we are going to let this run through. We are going to get as much money as we can between and now and, like I said, onto the next episode. And we will get all this building here done. So I might actually do a small time lapse then, like I did today at the beginning of this episode. And we will get this sorted and it will look really, really amazing when it's all done and it's all being opened up. So until next time, everybody, please do look after yourself wherever you are around the world, if it's evening, morning or afternoon. As always, from myself and also the team here at the Wolf Den, thank you so much. We see you all later. This is your ciao for now. Bye.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace.